Hello, Tarun. Very good
Hi,
morning.
good morning, yaar.
Yeah, how are you, Tarun? How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
Finally, yeah, I'm doing really great. Finally, I've been trying to talk to you like since since a long
Since
time.
long. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Right, right.
Unfortunately, your health wasn't supporting, but
Yes, right.
yeah.
I'm fine
So,
now.
oh, fantastic. So, Tarun, our channel's main aim is to find unique bugs and unique methodologies which people follow.
Yes,
And you are the first person whom I've seen that like you are a full-time bug hunter, right?
yes, right,
So
right, right.
people do bug hunting in their free times, okay, or for
Mm-hmm.
fun and profit. They say know how they quote actually, okay.
Yes.
But you are a full-time bug hunter, and this is seriously people or myself. I wanted to know like how have you entered into this field? So what's your journey? Just introduce yourself to us.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you. So I'm a graduate from Amity University, right?
Okay.
I've done my bachelor's in information technology,
Mm-hmm.
right? And since college only, I was trying to pursue for cybersecurity field, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had an interest in cybersecurity since very long. Like,
Okay.
it said that your career is started from your 10th or 12th class, right? So from class 12th or 10th, I was ready to dive into cybersecurity field. So I
Okay.
was looking onto resources, but since I was not so elder for that, I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to cope up with the resources, but I was not able to exactly understand that what exactly does how does the internet work, how does cybersecurity work, because I didn't have many resources.
Okay.
So gradually, when I move on to college, I completed my graduation. So uh, on and off, I got resources, but I was not able to get a proper channel through which I can study,
Mm.
right?
Proper
So I
guidance.
look proper guidance, right?
Yeah.
That is a very important thing in these days.
Mm.
People are not able to guide you properly, especially for beginners.
Yeah, and even back then, I don't think there are much resources or so many
No,
people to
no,
guide and
I
all.
graduated in 2018, so it's
Uh-huh.
5 years now, right?
Okay.
And if you take back 5 years, there was nothing for bug bounty, right?
Yep.
People
Yep.
hardly had listened about bug bounty,
Yeah.
right? So I still wish that if I had knew about bug bounty back then, the things were, they
Far
had been
different,
changed,
of course.
far different,
Yeah.
right? So I got some resources. Luckily, I met a person, right? He told me about bug bounty, right?
Can you name the
And
person?
sorry.
Can you name the person you
Yeah,
met?
sure, sure. He's my mentor. His name is Mr. Sachin Gupta, right?
Sachin Gupta,
And yes, yes,
the
yes,
cyber expert.
yes, yes, yes. He was my
Yeah.
mentor, right?
Yeah.
And he helped me a lot,
Uh-huh.
right? At that time, I met him in college,
Uh-huh.
right? So he was doing some workshops, but
Uh-huh.
after my college, I worked for a year in a startup,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was non-technical, semi-technical, you can say, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was not fully technical, so I was not enjoying that job. So I
Okay.
eventually left it, and I decided that whenever I'll start my career, I'll start from cybersecurity only because the thing that I left,
Okay.
it was semi-technical, right? And
Yeah.
not even into cybersecurity.
Mm.
So I gradually decided that yes, if I have to pursue my career now, I'll definitely go into cybersecurity. I'll take a break if I want
Mm.
to, but
Mm.
I'll only go into cybersecurity. So I asked
Mm-hmm.
my parents that how much time can I have, So they supported me financially, mentally, whatever
Okay.
they had. They supported me that yes, you can do
That's
whatever you
really
want.
important
Yeah, they
and a
supported
rare thing.
me
Uh,
that you have 6 months, 8 months, how much whatever you want,
uh-huh.
and you can go ahead with it, right?
Okay.
So I asked Sachin sir because he was into
Mm.
cybersecurity
Mm.
field,
Mm.
right? I asked him and he introduced me about bug bounty, that what exactly is bug bounty, how does things work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time only I was about to go to Bangalore for a course,
Okay.
right? Paid course. So and they were I think giving away job guarantee as well. So I was happy
Okay.
that if I do the course I'll be getting job as well,
Okay.
because
What
that is
kind of
important.
course were you trying to pursue?
It was basically for, I think, some tools, I guess. I don't remember. It was like five
Okay.
years back. I don't remember
Okay.
exactly. Right. But they were basically saying that whatever will be teaching you, it will
Hmm.
be industry ready, right? That
Acha.
people will require this thing. Like, okay, no problem.
Okay.
Right. But I told this course to sir, right? And it was a heavy, like, I think it was around $1,500, $1,600, right?
Okay.
So he straight away said that, you shouldn't go, you shouldn't invest this much amount after, you spent so much in college, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't spend again this much
Mm-hmm.
for a course,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he introduced me to bugbounty.
Mm-hmm.
The course that I that time ticket was around $200,
Okay.
right? I took it from sir, right? And I learned everything. right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, learning is only not so much important, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Practicing,
Of course.
diving, just dive into the websites,
Mm.
right? Whatever domains you have,
Mm.
do whatever you can to understand the
Research.
website,
Yeah.
right? You have resources, everything is available on the internet, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I always focus on is guidance,
Mm.
right? That is very, very important. That if you have proper guidance,
Mm-hmm.
right, you can do anything you want, not only about learning, right? So I got a
Of
proper
course.
guide, I got a proper mentor. We have a, like family relationship, so it's very good, right?
Uh-huh.
So sorry. So things went good, right? And it took me around 4 months. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just quoting this because people who get into this field, bug bounty, they think that it's easy money, will quickly earn,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
it's
No,
not like that,
that's really
right?
important. You have
Yeah,
quoted.
yeah. So
Appreciate.
it's not so much important that you directly jump into this field and you can earn immediately, right?
Yeah.
You can, but it will take a lot of efforts. If you want immediate money,
Mm-hmm.
right, you have to put that much efforts as well,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? Just by reporting a couple of bugs, 10, 20, 30 bugs, right,
Yeah.
it won't fetch you money,
Mm.
especially at a beginner level,
Yeah.
right? So you need to give it time. Everything
Mm.
needs time when you
Mm-hmm.
are building, especially,
Yeah.
right? So it took me around 4 months,
Four
right?
months. Uh-huh.
And my first bounty was of $200, right? I was
Okay.
very happy for that. That
Congratulations.
after, thank you. So I because I left my job around November, December, right?
Okay.
And I was not getting salary for 4 months. So I was somewhere in
Oh,
my mind
okay.
that I'm not getting money, right? My
Uh-huh. You
salary
weren't
has been cut off.
satisfied with that.
Yes,
Okay.
right. So I was thinking that my salary has been cut off for 4 months straight now, right?
Okay.
And I'm sitting at my home. My savings
Hmm.
are getting used.
And this is in the year 2018,
No, no, no. This was
2000,
in like pre-COVID, 2020. I
2020.
left my
Okay.
job in December 2019.
Okay. Uh-huh. Just
Right?
before COVID.
And just before COVID,
Okay.
right?
Now this
So
is getting interested.
yes.
Yeah.
So what happened exactly was that I found out my first bug right
Mm-hmm.
in April.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, it was somewhere around April 2020,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was happy because at least I got my first bug, because
Exactly.
whenever you get
Exactly.
your first bounty, you get a next level of confidence
Yeah.
that yes, I
Absolutely.
can do.
That's a
Right.
breakthrough, right? When you get
Yes,
your
yes,
first
yes.
bond.
People
Yeah.
generally leave it after 3 or 4 months that it's not for me, we should leave it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I strongly suggest that if you're learning something new, right, you should at
Keep
least give it
pushing.
6 months, at least
Oh,
6 months,
great, man. Awesome.
right? Because if you're not giving 6 months to anything,
Uh,
right, even if there is sapling, small sapling, right,
uh-huh.
it needs at least a month or so to grow,
Oh, yeah.
right, into a plant, right? It
True.
takes years to become a tree,
Of course. Of course.
right? So it takes time,
So things take time, guys.
things take time.
Yeah. Never give
Right.
up.
So after that, the journey went on and on.
Mhm.
Right. I told my parents that I got my first bug. I got my first bounty. They're happy for me that
Yeah.
finally you started doing something. Right.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that as an opportunity that I don't
Of
have to
course.
go
Of course.
anywhere now.
Yeah.
Right. I
I think you have
started.
hit the bull, man. You have hit the bull. It's
That
not
was the
that easy, you
greatest
know.
opportunity,
Of course,
right?
that's a turning
Leave it
point.
or take it. Yeah,
Yeah.
leave it or take it. So what did I do? Now this is the most interesting part, that
Hmm.
when I got my first bounty, I thought that let's do it now. I wanted the head start that I wanted, and we have done it now.
Hmm.
So I prepared my schedule, right? So in between that, I was just doing on and off, on and off, on and off. I was not able to focus on that properly,
Okay.
right? But since the day I got my first bounty,
And by the way, what was your first bug?
yeah. So my first bug was I was able to create multiple accounts with the same email,
Okay. Uh-huh. Nice. Was that
right?
a
So
VDP or on any
no, no,
platform?
it was a paid program on
Okay.
available on Google. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they paid me through PayPal. I didn't at that time I didn't know how to use PayPal as well. So I
Oh,
watched a normal
okay.
YouTube video that
Nice.
how to withdraw money through PayPal. right? Because it was my first international money. I didn't know
Absolutely,
anything how to
absolutely,
withdraw
yeah.
that, right? So I saw everything. Because I just saw on HackerOne that people get bounty. I saw on Buckrod that people get bounty in dollars especially,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I was excited, but it's like said the key. Whenever you get something, then only you understand that the value of
How
that.
to process? Yeah, of
Yes,
course. You
right.
learn.
So yes. So after April, after my first bounty, I planned everything, right? Because Buckrod is a US platform,
Yeah.
right? So I did all the hunting at night,
Mm-hmm.
right? I used to enjoy my morning and evenings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at night, I used to sit around 10:30, 11 after my lunch, after my dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work up till 6 a.m.,
Okay. The
right?
whole
So
night.
whole night I was testing. Yes, whole night I was testing.
Okay. Have you ever
Right?
slept at the time?
No, 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 no. I made myself a target that if I hunt these like 10 bugs, 15 bugs in a night,
Okay.
at whatever time, it be it 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., right? Then only I'll sleep, but I have to report at least 10 to 15 bugs,
Awesome, man. Okay.
right? So I followed this methodology for around 2 to 3 months, right?
Okay.
And the result were like, it was absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
that was a head start that I wanted. So at the back of my mind, I somewhere knew that after these 3 months after April, right, I somewhere knew that if I have to do something in life, forget about bug bounty, I
Mm-hmm.
need to plan things, I need to go ahead with it, right? And you should not leave it.
You need a planning
Yes, it
at
is
the
very
first time.
important.
Okay.
Right. Because see, if I am doing hunting, right, and if I don't have a goal, if I don't have a target, that why exactly am I hunting for, right?
Hmm.
You won't land up in anything,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? That is very important that you should be having a goal that why exactly are you hunting for, right?
Correct.
Is it a
Of course.
side hobby? Is it a part-time income or
Mm-hmm.
just for fun or just for
Mm.
skills? Whatever it is,
Make your
it
mind
depends
first.
upon person to person. Yes,
Yeah.
right. And then plan it accordingly,
Okay. Jump it.
right?
Yeah.
So whenever no, I leave my hunting, right? This is the process that I take. That it do whatever it takes, but whatever goal you have set in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you have to achieve it.
Awesome. Awesome. And that
That's
that
how
was
my journey
fantastic.
started.
That was fantastic and overwhelming as well. Okay, like just listening to your story is like reading a book.
Thank you, man.
Slowly
Thank
you
you.
have been escalating yourself in a you know exponential manner. You have been growing, and I've
Yes.
heard about you a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thought to invite you, so that's why we are
Thank you
here.
so much. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
that was awesome. And Tarun, you have been into all these things. You have been hunting the whole night. Okay. Meanwhile, in daytime, I don't think there is much to do in COVID time. Okay,
Yes, definitely.
you might be either washing hands or listening to the news all the time,
Music. Yes,
all
yes,
the
yes.
day.
You're right. Or eating and sleeping.
Yes, that's what we have done, right? So in the night you've been hunting, okay? So you might have reported so many vulnerabilities, okay? So
Hmm.
many
Hmm.
bugs you might have found.
Hmm.
So what do you think your strongest bug or your unique bug, a special one which you like a lot to hunt?
Okay, right. So at that time when I started hunting, right, I only knew like the low vulnerabilities and the medium vulnerabilities mostly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I was not so much like I didn't learn so much advanced vulnerabilities because I didn't have that proper knowledge to hunt on that,
Okay, okay. Mm.
right? So whenever you're starting, right, my suggestion is that build your basics first,
Okay.
right? The basic vulnerabilities, it may be about networking, it may be about programming, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But build your basics. Directly moving on to XSS, RCs, right? SQL injections won't help you because the labs that are available on the internet, be
Mm-hmm.
it any lab,
Mm-hmm.
right? It may be Portsfigure, it may be anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to solve that, right? Definitely you'll be able to solve that. But when you go to a live target,
Mm.
it will be very difficult for a person who does not have a proper knowledge
Okay.
because it's just like driving on a simulator and driving in the real world.
Yes,
These two things
exactly.
are very different,
Exactly. That's a
right?
nice analogy, man. I like that. Yeah.
So, that's why, whenever I tell people, I always say that whatever knowledge you have, you should definitely go and hunt that on real websites,
Yeah.
not on DVWs and practical, the demo websites, because in that you'll be able to hunt and find out bugs. But when
Mm.
you move on to targets like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, you'll not be able to understand anything.
Okay. Uh-huh.
because you don't know the servers, you don't know the databases, you don't know what is the programming language of that, and for
Okay.
that you need proper knowledge, proper reconnaissance.
Okay. Nice. So what do you think, like, how have you started, like, from, have you, directly hunted on live websites? Have you practiced
Yes,
somewhere?
yes, I
How?
started from bugcrowd VDP programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and this I suggest these bugcrowd VDP programs because it helps you build skills,
Mm-hmm.
right? See, what happens in no, the programs that you use using Google Docs, right? They are absolutely very good, but what happens is that you sometimes you don't get replies,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're getting a reply, you're getting in 1 month, 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically you are demotivated that you're getting a reply so late.
Mm-hmm.
But the specialty of these programs is that they have a tat
Yeah.
that they'll give you a reply or a respond in like 3 to 4 days or a week,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is a plus point that your bug is at least getting validated. It
Yep.
may be a duplicate, it may be anything, but at
Okay.
least you're getting a response from the company,
Yeah.
right? So I started from Buckroad VDP,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually I moved on to the reward programs of Buckroad. So I
Okay.
started my journey from Buckroad itself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Awesome.
But again, I was not able to grasp so much from Buckroad. I was not able to hunt on Buckroad so much because I was new on that platform.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I moved on to again to VDPs, the thing that I told you about hunting
Yep.
the whole night. So I moved on to the programs that are listed on Google, right?
Okay.
The normal Google docking,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
And I started my journey through that because I thought that, let's give some time to this Google docking first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll move on to Buckrod when I have proper knowledge,
Okay.
when I'm able to hunt, when I have bounties, I have confidence in me.
Okay. So you have nailed the basics first, then you have
Yes,
hunted for the real thing,
yes.
for rewards. Okay. So Tarun, what's your strongest bug or your favorite
Yeah.
bug?
So when I started, right, I started through rate limits. Right, I
Uh-huh.
loved rate limits.
Uh-huh.
Right, so I always used to say people that it was like when I started my journey, right, and I met people. I always told people that I love doing finding rate limits
Okay.
because I understand that vulnerability properly.
Uh-huh.
Right, that how is the functionality working? Now people generally find rate limits in reset passwords, normal functionalities. They
Yes.
don't know exactly what exactly is rate limit. Right,
Okay.
whenever they talk about rate limit, they say it's like where if you're able to trigger emails, if you're able to trigger
Many
SMSs, that's
times?
not exactly rate limit.
Mm.
Right, rate limit is a policy, right, that is set up. It's
Yes.
not like when you are sending messages, you are exactly not doing you are let's we can say that you are abruptly using that rate limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So rate limit is a policy that is set up on that
Okay.
particular website or an endpoint so
Okay.
that these things can be prevented,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if you are able to send SMS or emails, which basically means that the rate limit has not been set up,
Yeah.
right? So that is not rate limit. Rate limit is something that is opposite of that.
Okay.
Right. So eventually, I read a lot about rate limit, right? And then I found out that only these points like reset password, verification, SMS, these are not only the points
Mm-hmm.
which we can find out on anything, which can be sent on the server directly. Like for example, if I want to, like you are a user,
Yeah.
right? And I'm an attacker, and you have done a post or a comment, for
Okay.
example,
Okay.
right, on any on a public page, right? So this you might have seen there's an option of report comment or report post,
Yes. Yes.
right? So you can do a rate limit on that as well,
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
right? So because you need to understand things first. Like I'll give you an example. Let's suppose I want to report your post.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when I want to report your post, I'll capture the data on Burpsuit,
Yeah.
right? And I'll send n number of requests.
Yeah.
So if the company has not applied that policy, as one attacker, I'll be able to report you n number of times.
Okay.
Right. But the company says that when our user, when a like normal person, like tell let's say a number 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we receive 1,000 report, no report as a no flag as inappropriate, which is said that
Yeah.
when we report when we get 1,000 flags, we will remove this post from Instagram or let's say any community. But
Okay.
I as an attacker is doing the same thing by rate limit.
Acha. Ha. Got it.
Right. We don't require 1,000 people. I just require one attacker and
Mm.
Babsuit for that 1,000 request.
Nice. Nice, man. And can you mention any other places where can we find rate limit?
Yeah, sure. So, you can do it on comment, right?
Mm.
Let's say, for
Comment.
example, there's a person, right? A big celebrity, right? He
Okay.
has posted his picture. Now
Okay.
people are commenting, right, one
Mm-hmm.
by one.
Yeah.
So, but if I take the data on Bubsuit of comment, I
Mm-hmm.
can apply a simple list of 1,000 words, right?
Okay.
And I can write anything I want in that list, and I can
Yes.
just shoot it up. So 1,000 comments will be done,
Oh. Okay.
right?
Hmm.
So there are n number of ways of finding rate limits. It's
Okay.
just you should understand that how does rate limit work first.
That's so interesting, man. Nice. And can you show us this like now, if you have
Yeah,
any?
just a second. I'll just see that. Just give me a moment.
Sure.
Yeah, so this was a vulnerability of rate limit on comment I found out.
Okay.
I captured this data on Verbsuit. I just wrote test rate limit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I captured this data on Verbsuit. You can see it's written content test rate limit, the
Okay.
cursor where I have. Right. And I'll send this data to intruder now.
Okay.
Right. After I send this data to intruder, I'll just clear everything. I'll apply, a normal null payloads. Let's say, for example, if I don't want to change any content,
Okay.
right? And as soon as I click on start attack, my request will start going to the server,
Yeah.
right? It will eventually go for like whatever amount of time I want. I'll just, quickly do a fast forward for this for to understand that how did it exactly work,
Yeah.
right? So when I forward this like around 100 times, you can see that after a while, I got these, test rate limits everywhere.
Whoa. Yeah. The same comment.
See, see, test rate limit everywhere.
Awesome. Awesome. So that
Right. So these are the points, which you can test it out on.
okay. Great. So unpresent
Right.
career, you can
Yeah.
unpresent. Let me tell you. Going to know what type. Okay, we are ready. We start in three, two, one. Okay, Tarun, that
Yes.
was fantastic. You have told us something really new. I think people can also do some research and understand
Hmm.
this policy, this policy making, and can report more on rate limits. So, Tarun, do you have any other favorite bug other than rate limit, or in your entire journey? Okay, what was the bug which you have reported the more, or you found the more?
Right. There's a bug that is known as 2FA bypass, two-factor authentication bypass,
Okay,
right?
okay,
So
yeah.
this is a vulnerability, another vulnerability I like to test on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still exploring about this vulnerability, right? Because it has n number of ways, right?
Yeah.
Till date, I have approximately learned around 13 to 14 ways, and I'm still
Whoa.
learning of how to bypass 2FA, right?
Oh,
So
is
if you
it?
want, I can show you a method.
Please go ahead.
Right, sure, sure, sure. Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this, like it's not exactly a 2FA bypass, I would suggest, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's a type of phone number verification bypass. We
Okay.
can take it as 2FA bypass because
You can say
when
OTP
the people,
bypass.
yes, kind of.
Mhm. Okay. Good. Go ahead.
So I entered my number,
Okay.
right? So whenever the OTP is sent, right, you will basically go to the OTP field
Okay.
and you will go for inspect element.
Okay.
Right. Now, when you go to inspect element, this is the all data you're seeing, right?
Yes. Yes.
Just go to this arrow that you're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
click on this, and click on the verify button. And as soon
Okay.
as you click on this button, you will be able to see the OTP leaked in the inspect element.
Oh, is that the OTP?
Yeah, the actual OTP that has been received on the number.
So, what do you think? What's actually happening in the back end? Means it
Right.
is
So,
trying to match whatever you are going to type. It's trying to
y-
match this
so
particular
it's
code.
basically they have sent me an actual OTP,
Uh-huh.
right? But they haven't, no, it's like they haven't hidden the data from the front end. They are showing the data on the front end as well, right? And they're sending me the code as well.
Okay. So when you enter the OTP,
It
what
will
happens?
get verified.
Okay. So it is trying to match this exact OTP.
Yes,
Is
and
that it?
when you're doing it on the registration page, let's say for example you're doing it as an attacker to register someone's number, right?
Okay.
It goes P3. But when you are trying it on a login page, it is a proper authentication bypass because you have the number of the victim, right? You
Exact.
have the OTP of the victim, you'll directly get logged in.
Whoa. Wow.
Right. So I this vulnerability basically excites me a lot because
Huh.
two-factor authentication bypass or phone number verification bypass, email verification bypass is a kind of vulnerability that does not go below P3, first of all,
Of course, it
right?
is kind of account takeover, and that's the
Yes,
worst thing
yes, yes,
possible.
yes. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was talking about the 2FA bypass. I like to hunt about this vulnerability more because it excites me a lot, first of all, right? And whenever you read reports, your knowledge gets add on, right?
Yeah.
You keep learning new things about a 2FA bypass, and this is a particular type of security
Mm-hmm.
like which mm, every major company is introduced,
Yes.
right? Be it a net
Okay.
banking platform, be it any social media platform, be it any trading platform, everyone has a 2FA in
Yes.
place for a
Yeah.
security, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you try to play around with this bug, right, you try to learn new things.
Yeah.
So this is the vulnerability that I like the most after rate limit.
Awesome, awesome. And we can see, new methodologies coming up to bypass this. Every
Yes,
day, if you open the Twitter and all,
Twitter, right? Yes, yes,
people will be like posting many ways to bypass this 2FA, right?
yes,
And
right, right, right.
um, even if there is a login through a third
Third
party logins,
party,
like yeah,
yes,
token leakage and 2FA bypass through that, So there
yes,
are so many,
definitely,
and
definitely.
you like this bug a lot, you're saying.
Yes, yes, yes. For learning purposes, definitely.
Acha. Okay, of course. Okay. So, Tarun, you like rate limit and you like 2FA bypass.
2FA bypass,
So,
yes.
can you share us one more method to bypass this 2FA? This is really unique, huh? Which is showing up on the front end. So, do you
Hmm.
have any other method to discuss 2FA bypass, which you really like and haven't seen much people doing the same?
Okay, let me think.
Sure.
Um, there's a no, like I don't know that people use this method or not, right? But I have a method
Mm.
that like people might not test this. They might know this, but they might not test it, thinking that "Arey, this will not be able to this might like it is said that "Arey, ye nahi niklega," right?
Okay.
Like this kind of thing, right? So
Okay.
I just share my screen.
Sure.
So this was the vulnerability I was talking about.
Okay.
So I entered my details, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is my email ID.
Mm-hmm.
I entered my the credential, that is the password on the
No.
page, right? So it took me to the 2FA page now,
Okay.
right? Where I wanted to, where I had to enter the OTP to get logged in,
Okay.
right? So this time, like people usually require the OTP from their number or the application called Google Authenticator,
Yes.
right? For
Yes.
the
Yes.
2FA. So what did I do? I just entered some random OTP on my URL, let's say 11111 or 00000,
Okay.
right? And I copied this, I pasted on this field, and I clicked on verify OTP,
Okay.
and it got logged
What? How
in.
is this possible? Like, what do you think is happening?
So they are not validating that the 2FA is implemented, right? But in the backend, whatever OTP you're entering, they're not validating the OTP, they're just getting logged in. That's it. They're not validating whatever string that you're entering on the 2FA field.
Okay, but when you don't see something like Google Authenticator, you will definitely try this bug. Okay, but when you
Yes,
see
yes, yes.
that just enter from Google Authenticator and all, no one
Hmm.
tries. I don't think anyone will try this, right? I myself
Yes,
never
yes,
tried
yes.
this.
Yes, right, right, right.
But yeah, this is really interesting, huh?
So
Okay.
these are the kind of things that yeah. So these are the kind of things that you keep on learning, right? You keep on you read reports and you find these kind of things.
Yeah, so you learn all these things through reports, a
Yes,
unique
yes, yes,
method.
yes, yes, yes.
Just
Yes.
a small tweaking, you might get a bug,
See,
right?
it was not a very major thing, like if you saw,
Yes.
right? It was not a very major thing that I, to change the response. I was trying to make some change in the code or something. I just entered a random OTP,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was done.
Okay. So, Tarun, you have been hunting for so long. Like,
Hmm.
is that like 3 years away now?
Yeah,
Like,
more than 3 years now. Yeah, yeah, right.
acha. So you have been hunting for 3 years and full time.
Hmm.
How's it
Full time.
going with you? Like full time bug hunting, is it really working out for you? Have you never thought of doing a job or something?
Yeah, so I'll give you a very interesting story about this,
Sure.
right? When I started, like, this field is called freelancing, right? I'm not
Yeah.
working for anyone, so this
Yeah.
is called freelancing. And when I started learning and earning, right? When a year passed and a year passed, what exactly happened that my parents asked me that now what do you want to do? Like
Hmm.
it's been a year, right?
Okay.
You're earning also, right? But you're sitting at home,
Yeah.
right? That was the main thing, right? So like, what do you want to do? You want to do a job, or what exactly do you want to do? So this culture of freelancing, I
Yes.
enjoy it very much,
Yeah.
right? You can earn good. You
Yes.
can sit at home. You can
Yeah.
enjoy with your friends and family,
Yes.
right?
Whenever you want, you
And
can go out and chill.
whenever, yes, right?
Yeah.
You can take a holiday.
Exactly.
Right? There's no pressure,
Yes.
right? You can
But
work according to you.
haven't you faced these questions like कुछ करता नहीं है क्या घर में रहता है वो
No, so
haven't
my parents are enough for them to reply.
yeah okay so your parents will take care of everything
I'm back. I'm being backed by my parents, so it's
that
fine.
no that's amazing man so you are really lucky I think isn't it
Right.
yeah
So, this happened, right? So, whenever I did this, I told them that, see, everything is going good, right?
uh,
Every parents want that their child should be at home with them, right?
mm,
So, this is an add-on point I told
yeah
them,
of
right?
course
Plus, everything is going good, right? So, I don't think I should be going for a job. Let me try another year, right?
okay
Let me
okay
give it a try for one more year. Let's see what happens. If it
okay
doesn't work for me, I have an experience. I'll apply for a job, and everything
mm,
will be good,
mm,
right? So they said that fine. You can try it again. So
okay
unfortunately, it can say, unfortunately for people, but fortunately for me, that COVID came back again,
oh,
right? In 2021, 2022,
you
right?
are you are using COVID like Brahmastra
So I again used that here, right? And I did it again. So
okay.
now my parents are chill, right? That they say that everything is fine. Do whatever you want to do, right? We are
Yeah.
no one to say you want to do freelancing, you want to do job, whatever you want to do, you can do, right? We'll not be poking you for anything.
Then now you got a green card.
Green card for everything. You want to go go, you want to roam around, you want to party, you do whatever you want.
Wow, amazing. I wish every youngster get this kind of opportunity, a chance
Right. So
to prove
that is the
themselves.
thing that I'm saying, that if you're starting something, right, if you're putting it at risk, right.
Hmm.
So first of all, see that is the risk that you're taking, is it worthy? Right. First
Okay.
thing.
Hmm.
Right. And if you're taking a risk, right, do you have support to take that risk?
Yeah.
Financial support, family support, right? Mental support. If you have everything, you should go ahead and take that risk, right? People
Hmm.
in, let's say, for example, if people investing X amount, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that, X into 10 in your hand, go ahead and invest that X amount. But if you
Okay.
don't have anything, you
Uh-huh.
shouldn't invest something in which you don't have backup for,
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
right? So, I would say that I took a risk, right? That was a calculated risk.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's really important and a amazing word that is
Hmm.
calculated risk. Guys, really careful, huh? Yeah.
So yeah, I was talking about the story, right?
Yeah.
When I started hunting, right, as a normal guy, I was hunting, right? I was interacting with people on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
right? And for a year or so, I was like a normal guy. When the year went on and on,
Yeah.
companies started to approach for job offers, right?
Okay.
They said that, we saw your profile, we are really interested if you want to work for this. This happened the second COVID, right?
Okay.
When it was a work from home culture, right? So they asked
Mm-hmm.
that, do you want to work? We have a profile empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go ahead, we can schedule an interview, right?
Okay.
So I
Okay.
thought that in the back of my mind, I'm living a life of freedom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was on one side I was having a good package, and on the one side I was having freedom, right?
Okay.
Mental peace and everything.
Yeah.
So I thought, I asked my parents that what should I do, right? So they said that whatever you like, if you want to do job, you can go ahead with that. If you
Hmm.
want to do freelancing, you can go ahead with that. We are fine with both,
Okay. So they
right?
again left to
Yeah.
your choice.
Yes. So
Ah.
it was
Okay.
my choice that whatever I wanted to do. So after I worked for a year in the startup, right? So it is said that whenever you work for a startup, you learn everything,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
You get a lot of pressure also. Everything is there in that startup.
Yes.
So somewhere in my mind, I had a very good experience with that startup.
Yeah.
But I thought that, let's enjoy this freedom first. If I'm having this, right? People, they say that mujhe freedom de do. But
Okay.
if I'm having this freedom, I should not leave it,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
I chose freelancing. I told that right now I'm doing good,
Hmm.
right? So if I'll be requiring any offer, I'll be coming up front.
Okay.
right? So whenever you do good, you build a good profile, you build up skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
People say that jobs nahi hai, right?
Acha.
But I believe if you have good skills,
Yeah.
right, companies will approach upfront,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Kitna bhi recession ho, it does not depend, but if you have good skills, see,
Yeah.
people are still hiring, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
hiring is
Yes.
still going on, but you
Mm.
should have good amount of skills to get hired,
Absolutely.
right? They
Absolutely.
are, the field of AI, data science,
Yeah.
this is a very big
Emerging.
field that
Lot
is
of
growing, right?
even Web3 now.
Very much blockchain is, it's
Yes.
getting vast. So
Yeah.
if you have proper knowledge, each company is sitting there to hire you.
Exactly. Exactly. And you are the best example. No. And it's not
Thank you,
like a
man.
overnight success, isn't it? You have
Yes,
been.
it took me years, right?
Yeah, so people should understand this first. As soon as they get out of the college, they'll be thinking like, okay, I'll wait for the companies to hire
Hmm.
me.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
I
yes,
do
that's
have
right.
good communication skills and a little bit of knowledge, and I'll wait for the company. No, it doesn't work like that. You
It
have
doesn't
to
work like
work
that.
and you have to showcase your work first on
Yes,
professional platforms. No, do some participate in the meetups. Showcase your work. Try to
yes,
expose
right, right.
yourself.
It's said that, if you're doing something, it is very necessary to show off, because if you
Mm.
don't show off, people will not know what do
We'll
you
never
do,
know what to do. Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
on this particular point, when it comes about skills, when we
Mm,
talk about skills, it
mm,
is very necessary to show off your skills,
mm.
because if I have something in me and people don't know, right, that's of no use.
Yes, some noise, absolutely.
Right. People, they're normal startups,
Mm.
right? There are people like, college going guys who approach to me like, mere marks बढ़ा do
Mm.
this for me, do that for me,
Okay,
right? Companies approach that, please, we'll give you X amount, please do a data breach on that company, is my competitor, right?
okay.
So all sorts of things come to me, right? We'll
Acha.
pay you an X amount, give us the users data, give us this
Okay,
data, give us that
okay.
data, right? So when you do a white hat thing, you obviously get offers for black hat as well,
Yeah, it's kind of,
right?
yeah, that's how it works.
So that also, we every
Yep.
hacker or every researcher get these type of offers when, they get famous, or these
Yeah,
things happen,
yeah, yeah.
right? But I would suggest that, if you are into white hat hacking, right, or bug hunting, if you have this thing called, we say, I'm not getting exactly the word,
Ethics.
right? Ethics, yes, right. Thank you. Right. If you have the ethics, right, you shouldn't go to that part,
Yeah,
because you're earning good,
yeah.
you are famous now. That if anything happens, right, your reputation will go from 100 to 0 in a second,
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course.
For an X amount, it may be happen that, you get that amount, but after a while, if anything happens, your reputation is gone, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want so much money, right? Whatever reputation I've got, that's enough for me, right?
Okay,
So I just immediately say that I cannot do it. I'm so sorry for that.
okay. So,
So ethics is
Tarun,
very important.
that's really good, Tarun. And how much time will you spend on a day-to-day basis regularly?
Yeah, so for a beginner, I would suggest that you should, if you're going college or if you're working or you're doing anything, uh, an hour for learning, that is
Mm-hmm.
reading reports and everything,
Mm.
and at least 2 to 3 hours for hunting. Like 4 hours a day, right, would be enough for this learning path, right?
Okay.
Because whatever you're learning, right, if you're not practicing it,
Mm-hmm.
that will be, it's like just, mugging up things.
Yeah.
And cybersecurity is a field where every 99% of the things are practical.
Yes.
If you
Hands-on.
don't know what is a network, right?
Mm.
Yes, hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't understand how things work, how does a network work, how does a website work,
Mm.
right? How does Bubsuit?
You are
Yeah.
saying
So I
something.
was saying that it's very necessary that, you learn and practice at the same time. Whatever you're
Mm.
learning, you should be having a hands-on of that. Even
Mm.
if you have an hour, right? You should go ahead and on that, because you learned something, you have it, fresh in your mind.
Mm.
Just go ahead and quickly look for that options, right? So
Okay.
these two things are very important, and it goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's nice, Tarun. I think people will learn a lot from this video, especially they'll get motivated. And the purpose of this channel is that one only. It's not only about the technical, not only about career guidance and all. It is
Hmm.
basically to motivate people as well. When
Hmm.
they get settled down by watching your videos, people like you, they inspire you them a lot.
Do we
Okay,
have time?
for sure.
Yeah, I just take 5 minutes, right? I would just wanted to say a few things,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yeah. So see, I just especially wanted to say to the beginners, right? People approach to me, right? They ask me guidance, right? So since we have a beautiful video going on, right? So I would just like to say that whatever you want to learn, right? You have a number of knowledge, right? You on the internet, you can grasp that, right? But don't look out for people, let's say, when people goes to, you go to LinkedIn, you see he's earning X amount, right? And just because of that, you want to do this thing,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
right? So don't go in the that race that if he is doing this thing, I also don't want to do this thing,
Okay.
right? If you don't know that what amount of knowledge, how much amount of hard work he has put in that to do that thing, right?
Yeah.
Anything that he is earning
Yeah.
or he is doing, it might be possible that he has put a number of sleepless nights on that,
Of course. Of course. People don't
right?
see that most
So
often.
people so don't see that, they just see
Yeah.
that he's got $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, but they
Yeah.
don't see that what exactly is
Yeah.
going in the back end of that person,
Yeah.
right?
So as you did, clear the basics first,
Yes,
then go
clearing the
ahead.
basics is very important, right?
Yeah.
Going on to live websites, understanding different tools, right? You should explore everything first, right? Right. Have a proper guidance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to guide people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like to add that I've been training people as well for this bug hunting, right?
Okay. So how do you train,
Right.
Tarun? How do you train?
Yeah, so it's basically a one-to-one session. I don't like to teach in batches. Everyone had its own thinking. I
Okay.
like to train one-to-one because of many barriers. I faced many barriers,
Acha.
right? So yeah, there are language barriers, there are knowledge barriers. Some is fresher, some is experience. So there are lots of barriers in this field. So I
Okay.
teach one-to-one. I love to interact people from one-to-one as we are interacting, right?
Okay.
It we I love to learn from people, right?
Uh-huh.
Whatever amount of knowledge they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I teach one to one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it this basically goes for around a month or so, in
Okay.
which I teach from very basic, that is P4, and I
Okay.
go up to P1 slowly,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
right? That is let's say $5 or $6 on alternate days, so that you have time, whatever you learned,
Mm-hmm.
you have time to apply that,
Mm-hmm.
and then come back to me with doubts
Okay.
or for the next one.
So you let them practice first. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. You
that's what I
allow
said.
them to do
Whatever
that.
you have learned,
Mm.
practicing is also very important.
Apply that, then you come back, then I'll.
Yes, then
So,
we'll learn new.
so in simple words, you are actually guiding them, like hands down, right,
Yes,
right on the
yes,
paper and all.
yes. Everything. I've been sending notes as well. I've been sending them my written reports as well,
Okay.
my self payloads as well. That take whatever I have,
Okay. Okay.
but learn.
Okay.
I just want people to learn and learn, grow
Mm-hmm.
this community,
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
I whatever issues I faced, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had my mentor, right?
Okay.
So I think that if I can help someone
Oh.
financially or by my knowledge,
Mm.
I'm ready to do so.
So in the same manner, how Mr. Sachin Gupta guided you, you are trying to guide people as well. Like
Yes.
that's really good of you. And Tarun, so thank you so much for joining us
Thank
and
you so much. Yeah, it was
sharing.
like I really loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
Interacting with the people, especially on this topic, I love it very much.
Okay, that's amazing because yeah, as I told you earlier, like I've been waiting to talk to you. Now you have shown us really nice bugs, and unique methods and all. Okay, so I'll
Yeah,
try to get back to you with some
sure. I would love that.
more things and more knowledge, more bugs and all. I'd
More
like to
bugs.
discuss with you only because you are a full-time bug hunter, yeah, and you might be
Hmm.
reporting hell lot of bugs every day, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I wish people come to you and they also learn a lot.
If people look for bug hunting as a sorry career as well, they can obviously go, but it will take time. As you saw, it took me 3 years for this as a career, right?
Yeah,
So you cannot immediately leave your job and go into hunting, right? Because
yeah,
if the next month you're not getting anything, you don't have your salary as well,
yeah,
right? So if you
absolutely.
think this as a career,
Uh,
right, you have to, as I said, you have to plan first, right?
mm,
You should have that amount of money in your hand,
mhm.
so that you can think that we can leave our job and start this as a full-time career.
Yeah.
So
So
don't take this decision in a rush.
yeah,
Take time, take time for this decision especially.
yeah, that's really risky thing, isn't it? So
Yes.
that's what made me curious to know about like how have you taken this decision of being a full-time bug
Because I
hunter?
also told you that I left my job and started hunting, right?
Yes,
So it
yes,
was a
and
very risky, but
eh,
it was a COVID time,
yes,
so things
that's
helped me a lot.
exactly the thing. That's a really
Things
interesting
helped me a lot.
story. Yeah, that's really an interesting story you've shared with us, Tarun. Okay, so Tarun, would you
Right.
like to
Yeah.
share some resources with the people from where they have to start or learn a lot
Right.
of
See,
things or people to
whenever you're
follow?
learning, right, I would suggest people like, Jason Haddock,
Uh,
right, Stock,
mhm.
right. Then I love to read the reports of Orwa Yat, right, the Godfather Orwa,
Oh, Godfather Orwa, yeah.
right. No,
Mostly
his
the information
recon,
disclosure.
yes, his recon method is absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm been watching videos of Hackersploit on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Hackers Pride,
Right.
yeah,
He's a very very knowledgeable person.
of course.
Right. I love to watch videos of Baccalaureate University as well. They have been providing good resources to learn.
Yes,
Right.
yes, of course.
Right. And for report reading, I would suggest pentester.land is a very very good resource.
Okay,
Right.
Pentester Land.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Pentester.land is a very good resource for learning because I think they have reports published for the last 10 or 12 years, right?
Oh,
They have around 100 pages of reports,
awesome.
right?
This is great.
So they have like bugs like XSE, RC, XML from basics to
To
the highest
advance.
level they have, right?
Okay.
And the main thing is that people whatever they are, let's say they are reporting in Google,
Yeah.
Microsoft,
Yeah.
right? So whenever their reports gets published, they go and post it on pentester.land, right?
Okay.
So you
Huh.
can read reports of the the giants as well, that
Okay.
what bugs are they're getting found out on giants.
What methodology they've
Yes,
followed and all.
right.
How deep?
Especially for bugs like IDOS, privilege escalation, you need methodologies, you need to read reports that what
Absolutely.
exactly happening, right? These
Yeah.
bugs are not just like, do you this,
Mm.
it will happen that. For
Scans
this, you
and
need,
tools won't work
won't
here.
work,
Yeah.
won't
Yeah.
work, right?
But
It may work till up to a level,
yes.
but again, nothing can beat manual hunting,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. That's really good thing, to know. And you have shared us nice resources with us. No, I and your main agenda was read the reports for at least 1 hour a day and practice for at
Hmm.
least 4 hours to sharpen your knowledge.
Yes, yes, yes,
Thereafter you
yes.
can just
You
kill
need to
it.
cut down somewhere to get something.
Yeah, exactly. So as we have already mentioned, nail the basics first, then
Yes,
cut the trees.
yes, right.
Well, so Tarun, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
It was a
I'm.
really good session.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'll be looking forward to be our guest one
Sure,
more
bro,
time.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure, sure. I would love that. You were a great host, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Thank you. I wish people, my guests feel really comfortable talking to me. So I'll make sure that.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tarun. Take care.
Thank you
Take
so
care
much,
of your
Aaron.
health.
Thank you so much.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.